Before we get into this video, know that there are potentially a few spoilers for the movie Logan, but obviously I haven't seen it. I'm just taking some stuff from the trailer that's probably completely inconsequential, so yeah. The new trailer shows a clip where Wolverine is flipping through some X-Men comics that exist in that universe, and a few of you guys reached out on Twitter asking me about this, and I wanted to do more things, responding directly to your questions and inquiries, so let's do it! The topic for discussion today obviously being comic books that exist within comic books, and also comics in comic book movies. Now firstly, I think we should address the comics that we see in the trailer. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that they are not actual X-Men comics, but were created specifically for the film. Joe Quesada got a call directly from Hugh Jackman himself, asking him to pencil some of those inner comic book pages. Little did Quesada know that Dan Panosian was also brought on to ink and color those pages, along with make a dozen or so covers. The two comic creators are actually really old friends from Quesada's very first penciling gig over at DC Comics. Also, interestingly, Panosian says that there's an additional 4-page story arc that he had done that we may or may not see in the finished film, so who knows. Either way, this is far from the very first time that a comic book movie or TV show has referenced having comic books in their universe. Flash, for example, has Cisco referencing comic books a couple times.
I think I saw it in a comic book somewhere.
Spider-Man 2 had Aunt May give away Peter Parker's comic book collection.
Where are all my comic books?
Oh, those dreadful things. I gave those away.
And heck, even Captain America the First Avenger featured the actual first appearance of Cap, where he's punching Hitler, a true American pastime. And there's also precedent for comics in the comic book universes themselves, both Marvel and DC, and other publishers, presumably. After all, it would be weird to deny a universe an entire art medium simply because that's where their universe spawned from. I mean, movies have movies in them, TV shows have TV shows in them, and so on. So yeah, comic books can have comic books in them. Plus, think if you were living in this world where superheroes were going out and fighting crime, saving the day, or maybe even just being a menace in your eyes, as typical with the X-Men universe. Of course, people would make stories based around the X-Men. We already have in our world stories based off of true events, and none of those are nearly as exciting as a guy with knife fists. There are a few particular examples within comic books. Wonder Woman number 156, for instance, shows that Golden Age comic books exist in this universe. Tales of herself, Batman, Superman, and etc. were made into comic books. But that really shouldn't be much of a shocker, as previous to this story, we've seen all the way back in Barry Allen's origin that he himself was reading a Jay Garrick Flash comic book. But I think the prime example here has to be over at Marvel, where in their universe, they print stories of the heroes who exist in it, specifically and mainly the Fantastic Four. In fact, Marvel Comics as an organization exists in the Marvel universe to print authorized tales of superheroes. This was established pretty early on, all the way back in Fantastic Four number 10 and 11. And in a couple issues of She-Hulk, it was revealed that any comic book that bears the seal of the Comics Code Authority, that CCA stamp right in the corner, is a legal document, meaning She-Hulk can use those stories in court as evidence for real-life events. Of course, the real Comics Code Authority isn't nearly as exciting as that. We did do a video about it up there that I definitely recommend you check out if you haven't. Anyway, we're at a weird point right now in the current Marvel universe where even those authorized Fantastic Four stories are kind of questionable. You see, there's a story happening in Silver Surfer comic books that I'll try to abbreviate real quickly. Basically, Earth's entire culture was being stolen by an alien race, and in order to save it, the Silver Surfer had to give up his own culture, and in doing so, erased it from everywhere, including those old comic books that referenced his homeworld. And I mean, holy cow, I mean, what an incredible sacrifice that is to give up his own culture to save Earth's. And he was repaid with Hamilton tickets, which seems appropriate. That I feel like that's the only way you can get them now. But yeah, that is just a small sample of all the times that comic books themselves are referenced within other comic books. Of course, this doesn't count fourth wall breaking characters who realize that they're in comic books. That's a completely different topic. We did talk about meta comics a couple years ago, so if you want to go check out that video, do that. Probably don't. I bet it's real bad. But I would love to know if you have your own favorite example of comic books inside of comic books. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, this month is supposed to be about superhero science, so we have one last super sciencey video coming out on Saturday. Definitely stay tuned for that. Oh, It's gonna be a fun one. So ding that bell, or whatever it is we're supposed to be saying now. Also, just as a quick reminder, as I've been saying in all these other previous videos, we do have a Facebook page. Go check it out. We do live streams there every Monday. We talked about the new Star Wars title last time, and it was a ton of fun just to hang out with you guys. Definitely check it out. Link in the description below. In the meantime, here's another video that you might like to enjoy with your eyeballs. My name is Scott, reminding you to read between the panels and grow smarter through comics. See ya.